friends. That was a great job on those milk jug catchers there. I know you boys and girls did great. Now we're going to move to catching objects with our hands. Because in real life, boys and girls, when you're at the playground, or when you're at home with brother and sister or your family and you're playing catch, we don't usually use milk jug catchers, right? We usually use our hands. So we want to get good at catching objects with our hands. So coach is going to go over some things first before I show you the 10 levels that I have for you, skill levels. I want to first talk about how to have our hands ready, because now you know, get under the object, just like with our milk jug, have your hands ready, have them there. But there's a special way you want to have your hands. Also, boys and girls, you have to figure out or determine if the object that's coming to you is right here near our bellies, or is it up here near our face or above our face. So you're going to have to make two quick decisions based on where that object is. So the first one, when it's down here near our belly, we have our hands like this. And not only do we have our hands like this, we want to have our pinkies close or touching, or maybe even if the object's small enough, on top of each other like that. So there's no hole for the object to fall through. So now if you got a big ball that you're catching, you still want to have your pinkies pointing to one another and have some space. So that way you can catch that big object. But in our case, we're just working with our little softball, right? Or maybe a little beanie baby or a little squishy ball, something that you're practicing with at home. So first things first, if it's down here, we go pinkies. We call this pinkies. Now, if that object is coming up here near our face, we don't want to get hit, right? We want to protect ourselves. Or maybe it's up here, we have to sometimes hold our hands up or maybe even jump to catch it. We can't use our pinkies in that situation. We want to use what we call our thumbs. So when it's coming up here, we protect our face. We don't turn away from the object because you want to see where it's coming. But we protect, touch our thumbs, and maybe even pull your hands in like this to make a little triangle or sometimes a diamond shape. We call these thumbs. Thumbs. Now, if it's a big object, give it a little space, but we're working with smaller objects. Thumbs. So this is when you're catching an object with two hands. So remember, if it's down here, pinkies, thumbs. So that's how we have our hands ready. But there's one more part that I forgot to mention. We call it the tuck. The tuck, the bring it in part. Okay, so when it's down here and you have your pinkies ready, you catch and you tuck it in. That way it doesn't roll out of your hands like that. If you catch it and pull it in and tuck it, it's safe. You won't drop it, okay? Because we don't want to drop an object. We want to be able to catch it. Now, if an object's above your head, sometimes when we're running to get under an object, we sometimes go a little too far and we figure out that, oh, it's going to hit my face. So remember, thumbs, protect your face, and then hopefully it won't fall through the hole. Make the holes tight so it doesn't go through. Once it hits your hands, you want to grab it, tuck it in. Okay, just like here, tuck, grab, tuck. Now, we really won't be working with catches above our head. We want to just work with getting under it, getting our hands out, pinkies, tuck it in. But those of you who are pros at catching with two hands, we're going to have you boys and girls working catching with one hand. Now, what's the difference here? You want to have your hands spread and your fingers are going to be like that milk jug. Once it hits the palm, you want to have your fingers keep it from rolling out. See that? Now, I know your hands are not as big as Coach. So what you could do is when it hits, get your other hand there, clamp it down. Clamp, like a bear trap. So it doesn't roll out, okay? So you get better at it, you won't need that other hand, okay? So we're gonna be working on some self-tossing and catching. You can go 2 hands or 1 hand. I want you to practice both, okay? First start with 2 hands, but if that's too easy, then we'll go 1 hand, okay? So remember, this is all about getting better at a skill. And the better we get at skills, boys and girls, the more fun you're gonna have when we play our games later on, okay? So have fun with this, boys and girls. Here we go.